Yo, dude. Just replying to your check-in. So this is your feedback for the week. Thank you very much again for sending that across. I was a bit worried. You did seem kind of a bit down. You seemed a bit. I'm not sure. Obviously, there's maybe stuff going on in personal life, which you can always chat to me about. Just send me a message, or if you ever want a phone call, or what. It doesn't even have to be about the gym. You can just always, if you want to talk, then by all means, give me a ring or a text and just a heads up. Um, but I hope you're all good. I know you said that just kind of been a long week, so hope you've rested up today and you've got some fuel in you. It seems like quite a good time to go into an off season or go into a bulking phase. Agree to you have been dieting for quite a long time now, um, and that does take a toll mentally and physically. And I know how you feel. I've just come off the end of a cut, and I'm going to go into an off season now. I'm not doing any more shows this year, simply because in my head, if I didn't place top three, I wasn't going to carry on this year. I knew that if it was anything below top three, I was going to call it a day and then focus on growing and then potentially do it next year or the year after, probably 2020, as a lightweight, because I won't be a junior at that point. So that's the plan of action, I think. But I know exactly how a cut can mentally take a toll. You become very food focused as an individual. It's yourself as a person. If you've got business, job, especially for myself as a businessman, I want to be running 100% for my business, and sometimes in prep, I just wasn't, and it wasn't ideal. So, although, a diet is good and prep is good, it's not a sustainable long-term thing that anyone can do. Like, unless you get paid to do that shit, then no one can do it. Like, top athletes who get paid to prep all year round, then yeah, fair enough, suck it up, it's your job. But, if you and I who just have a diet, then at the end of the day, life's too short to always be worried about your nutrition and how you look. So we are going to go into an off season. We are going to grow. There are a few changes, um, and this part, dude, is like you'll what will happen is you'll see yourself lean and you'll love the look. Like you'll love that you're lean, you love that you've got abs, you'll love that you've got striations, you'll love that you'll be able to wear a vest and people compliment you, etc. Trust me, I've had it all. Oh, you look good, you look shredded, you're ready, you kill it on stage. Into the off season, you need to focus on performance, 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 performance in the gym. Just think about your lifts. Think about people looking at you and go, "Fuck, he's strong." Like, wow, I wish I could lift that much. Or, wow, yes, that form and the amount of what he's lifting there is incredible. Think about gym performances. All you think about, because when you put all your effort into gym performance, that's when we'll grow. That's when you'll make improvements. And then next year, when you cut back down, everyone will be like, shit, like how do you put on that much tissue? I push my clients slightly above or past what they're comfortable with looking like, because I feel like that's where you really grow. When you get a little chubbier, when you get a bit little fluffier, when you've got a bit of belly and there's no abs, trust me, I think that's the best way you grow. That's the best time I've ever grown, and that's just pushing those barriers a little bit more and eating, because it will get to a point where you're eating and you don't want to eat anymore, but you just continue eating, and maybe your body composition doesn't look that good. You won't look that good topless. You'll have a bit of a belly. You have a bit of flab. Your face will blow up a little bit. But trust me, that's when you grow. And then you shred down. Everyone's like, wow, like it's just because you push those barriers. So that's the first thing. Just focus on training and getting strong as fuck, and focus on people trying to compliment you on your training rather than how you look. This week we will do a diet break, which I think a diet break, normally for a client, I would just put them on their maintenance calories. But for you, I want you to have a fucking diet break. So I want you to eat whatever you want, just like a holiday, like you did in holiday, where you didn't track anything, you ate what you wanted, and you kind of just enjoyed yourself within reason. Obviously, I don't want you to binge 24 hours every day, because that would not be good. But just have a diet break. You can also, if you want to, you can have this week off if you want. But ideally, if you enjoy training, then train. Train however you want. Don't really have. You can just go in and smash a session if you want. If you want to train arms, train arms. If you want to train just back, train back. But as of next Monday, then you'll hit this new program, which is kind of cool because I've just given you your new sheets. So going into your off season, we'll almost like you coming to me as a new client will set you up this way with these new sheets. So they're very similar again, just a better layout for myself. Last ones were really annoying. They just pissed in terms of like they look good, but in terms of like how easy they were for me to use was so annoying. Like even little things like copy and pasting a week or looking at your training tracker, I just couldn't see the previous week, so I always had to scroll, and it was so annoying, and it just irritated me. And then your image things, I just didn't know, they weren't like consistent, so I didn't know what week it was or the date or your weekly average, so I didn't know how much you were losing between each thing. So just those little things I've added in just to help myself, coach you guys better. So I've run through your sheets, and your training is slightly changed as well, so I explain that to you also. So your sheets basically the same. Client information, current macro. Oh yeah, your macro when you come back on Monday, or when you come back into your off season, or when you go into your off season. Your current macronutrients. You will be tracking food again, but they will be obviously higher. So we're going to start you off at 250 carb, 50 fats, 180 protein. So that's just over 3,000 calories, which is a lot of food. Your fats are slightly higher, they will probably just go up, and your carbs will probably go up. Like the first thing we'll increase is fats, because we'll probably get them to about 70, 75, and then we'll start increasing carbohydrates. Your steps are please 10,000 minimum. We still want you to be heart gains, I call them. You still want to have heart gains. You don't want to be a sluggish twat who can't walk upstairs, and you need to keep your heart pumping like normal. You need to keep healthy, basically. Also, daily steps help with digestion. So you don't want to eat a meal and just sit down. Maybe eat a meal and go for like a 5 to 10 minute walk. Help with digestion. Help with the nutrients that actually get to the muscle to help you grow. But also want to take a particular real interest in pre and post workout meals. You need to really like nail down on them. So I want you to be consuming 20 to 30% of your food intake pre and post, and that's like pre-workout an hour before you go to the gym, and post-workout an hour after. Maybe have a shake as soon as you come out of the gym, and then you go home and then eat within that hour, and make sure it's after. Remember, so after you have a meal, make sure it's quite high in carbohydrates but low in fat, high in protein. Pre-workout you can have it needs to be high in carbohydrates again, but it can be fats, and then also minimal protein there. So yeah, same as usual, sort of date, time, weigh in, carbs, what you ate that day, your training, what you trained. The only thing that's changed on this front sheet is your session performance. So instead of tracking on the other sheet, we'll just track it here. So I'm just doing it as, instead of 1 to 10, made it a bit fun. Epic, good, okay, meh, and awful. So okay being a 5, and the epic being a 10, and then 1 being awful. So we're going to track it like that. Steps, and then obviously cardio. Cardio, you're doing just tracking steps for your off season. Training tracker, kind of similar, but I've put the date here so we can see what exact date that was rather than week 1, because week 1 to me is irrelevant. I'd rather see the date and the progression throughout the dates. Your training has changed slightly. Now I'll run over this quickly. We're focusing the majority of your training around the 3 main compound movements, so your bench, your deadlift, and your squat. You will be squatting, so start light, get really used to the movement. Potentially send me some videos of you bench pressing, squatting, and deadlifting. I want to see form videos to make sure they're correct, and we need to work around those. So that your push sessions, going to start off with a bench press, and now the rep schemes are 3, 5, 8, and 10. So like the first set will be a set of 5, the second set will be a set of 10, and the third set will be a second set of 8, and then the third set will be a set of 10. So let's say you do 50 kg for 5, you're going to do it like this. So 50 for 5, and then you'll do, I don't know, 45 for 8, and then you'll say like 40 for 10. So that's how I want you to track that for me. And every week to try and progress those 3 sets and those numbers, and that's how we're going to track your main compound lifts. So same with your OHP, which is an overhead press with the barbell, military press, and then the very similar exercises to your last ones. Any notes here in terms of what I want you to do is here as well. So like lateral raises, on the last set you will be performing a drop set, so which is where you as soon as you finish that last set, you drop the weight and just carry on until you can't fucking go anymore. Your pull sessions, we're going to start with deadlift. So again with the 5, 8, 10 here, and then go down to some, added in one more back movement, and then again a drop set. Any questions regarding exercises, let me know. Squat, 5, 10, 8. Leg press, and then similar exercises what you've been doing. Upper session exactly the same as your last one. I know you enjoyed that, so I didn't change it. And then abs again, exact same. So that's your training tracker. Image tracker is kind of similar, but we're going to track the date and the average weight on each things. And we need to make sure that we're sending them every 2 weeks from now on, or potentially 3 because it's an off season, and then check in just like you normally do. I know you're really good with your check-ins. So that's your sheets. That's your off season feedback. Hope you're doing well. Any questions regarding anything, please let me know. But I look forward to hearing from you. Hope you're okay with all the changes. And yeah, so cool. Speak to you soon.